What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of PCP Savage. Front regulator. How to rebuild it in case you want to rebuild it, and why would you delete it, and when do you need to delete it, and which circumstances. When is a good time to delete and what's not, and what's the benefits of deleting that regulator or keeping that front regulator. Well, I keep having problem. This is my second front regulator and it's leaking again. If you want to know how to troubleshoot, how to figure out where the leak is on impact or any PCP, I'm gonna put a link in the corner and then also in description below how to find a leak. Okay, really easy, simple way to do it. Watch that video. First, we're gonna rebuild it. Okay, so to do that, you need to remove your bottle, get the bottle off. You still have pressure in your plenum. To get rid of that pressure, unscrew this slowly and it just bleeds through that gauge. It's bleeding the plenum, it's almost empty. Okay, now we need to remove the trigger guard. Okie doke. Put it aside, don't lose the screws. And now we have access to your front regulator. They are tight, but they're not as crazy as I hear from some people. And it's off. So let's set this guy aside for now. Get that thing removed. There you go. Put it aside. Get your Allen head. I don't know what size that is, but whatever fits in there. And get that unscrewed. Hold it with your nail and it comes out just like that. So this is one of the O-rings that we need to replace. I forgot to tell you, before you start taking all of this apart, get yourself a rebuild kit for the front regulator. Now we need to get that back part out. Now I get myself a safety clip pin or needle or some kind of needle or Sharpie thing in there. See that black little O-ring in here? You need to get that removed, as long as you don't damage that brass insert in there. That brass insert usually comes out as well. So there you go. Get that thing out. You're going to be replacing that O-ring anyway. And now you have access to all of your washers. Get that out just like that. They're all stacked on. How they are stacked up, if you look at this this part right here, this guy right there, they're going to, this is, each line is a washer, so two washers, two facing each other, so six pairs. Okay, that's how they are stacked up onto this plastic one piece. If you look inside, right when it starts to get thinner, that's kind of hidden right there. Like to use some little swabs in there. I dip them in alcohol and I wipe everything, especially that inside of the regulator assembly body. I wipe it really good. I clean all of the corners, all the cavities. I run it through inside. See how dirty that thing is. You know, use a little bit of compressed air. I already replaced O-ring on this part right here, on this plastic valve, whatever you call it. Okay, that's replaced. Now I'm gonna insert. Now when you're removing that the O-ring from inside there, what I use is I take needle, okay, the safety pin, whatever, and I bend a little bit at the end, yeah, a little bit at the tip, and that helps you kind of get in there and kind of, you know, pull it out, because if it's straight it just doesn't get into that cavity. Okay, so now I'm gonna insert new O-ring, which is gonna be struggle. And listen, just like that SpongeBob episode, 2 hours later, trust me, you'll get it there. Okay, so it's there now. That's good. two more. This guy right here and that little. And listen, this small O-ring just fell apart as I was taking it apart. It just broke apart, small pieces, so that'll tell you that, yeah. So all of them O-rings are replaced, parts are cleaned, blown out with air, looks good. Now we need to work on the washers, okay? So how we're gonna do that is, let me show you. Alrighty, so here's what I do with my washers. First I take the washer and I wipe it clean with a paper towel so there's no oil on it and it's clean. Then I have a 3000 grit sandpaper, which is not really a sandpaper, it's a 3M 3000. It's like a foamy, it's like a foam, it's so fine you don't even feel like it's a sandpaper. And I put my washer on and I just run it just like that on one side and other side, okay? Just a little bit. The surfaces that are in contact between them washers, they're perfectly clean and without any extra debris, okay? So I run each one just like that. Then after I do that, I clean it with the sandpaper, with the paper towel again, and I put it on a piece of paper, okay? I just put it on the piece of paper. Make sure your fingers are clean. And do the same thing. Alright, here's what happens next. Now you need to assemble this thing. I use this oil because it's thin, and if anything gets inside the little holes inside the regulator system, it can blow out and come out. If you use lube, grease, it can clog up your passages, and then you can have a different problem, maybe not passing air through, okay? So one of these guys, but I'm gonna put around the O-ring, and I'm gonna put a little bit on this shaft. And now I'm gonna start stacking up my washers in this pattern that I show you. So I'm gonna put some, just touch it, you know, you don't have to have a lot of that stuff on, just so it's filmed, okay? Just a little film of it. Fill the surface in just so it's not dry. That's it. That's it. Don't need to put any more. Okay, now this assembly is going in like this. They're inside. Alright, it's in. This beast. Okay, putting a little on, just like that, getting inserted. Yay, looking good. Then we need to put a little bit on here, just a film. Again, just a film. There you go, screw it in, hold it with your finger, right? And then your final screw, tighten it up, and this is how it's done. But we're not gonna install it, and we're gonna delete the regulator on this M3 of mine. If you're not subscribed to this channel, feel free to click that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. Like and subscribe cost me hours to make a video and edit. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, so please subscribe, you know, support the channel. Now we're gonna talk about why we need to delete the regulator, when you need to delete the regulator, front reg, and what their benefits are. Okay, so why do you need a first regulator, first stage? Under 100 bar on the second regulator, and your bottle pressure is 80 or 90 bar on the second reg, and your bottle is 250. The pressure difference between 250 and 80 is too much for the for your second stage regulator, okay? It's a lot of pressure for it to handle, so it's struggling, and yes, you need something to, let's say, put it down to, let's say, 150 bar, First regulator puts 150 and then 150 down to 80. Works great. Second stage reg is set to, let's say, 120, 110, anything above 100. In my case, it's 130. The difference between the 250 on the bottle and 130 is not that much. The second stage regulator can handle it just fine, no problem. First. Second, you get a lot faster refill time. Without the first reg, refill time is about 2 seconds. So you boom, done. And then you're ready for the next one, right? As fast as you can reload, it's already ready to go. Versus this reg, let's say, says 150 or 170, and it just takes about 5 or 7 seconds to refill. Some people say, well, you can just open this up, the first reg, and it'll just kind of function just fine. Well, not really, because the air is still passing through small little tiny holes on the first reg. So the speed of the refill, it slows down by the passages on the first regulator, the small little tiny needle size holes. So that's what delays your refill. It's not the difference. The difference in the pressure does, and also those small tiny, like if you're rebuilding one, we just rebuilt it one, you'll see that the holes are inside. They're just like the person's hair thickness. They're super tiny. So that's what slows the refill down. So anytime you have 100 or plus on the second stage reg, go ahead and delete it. How to do it, right? Okay, here's how you do it. You can either get ST0039, look them up. A lot of different vendors selling them. They're about $30, $35. No, you cannot take the guts off of your first stage and just plug it in, because there is the vent hole right here, and it's just gonna keep bleeding. So that's not gonna work. This guy is the M4 front block. So this is from M4, and M4 doesn't have the front first stage reg, first stage regulator. So the M4 block, and it's also like a $30 or $35. You can just screw that in, put the bottle, you're good to go. That's your like a kind of backup plan. Okay, so those are two options for you to get that taken care of. Also, what I usually do, if you watch to the end of the video, I'm telling you guys, if you watch to the end, you're always gonna get some kind of bonus out of it. When I delete my first stage, then you end up with the two gauges, one on one side, one on another, and they're both showing same pressure all of a sudden. Okay, so you really don't need one. And I don't like my bottle pressure on this side, because you have to look at this way. I would like to see it right here. So what I usually do, if it's a 300 bar, what is this? In this case, it's 250 and 250. So what I do is, if you have a 300 on this side and 200 on that, I take this 300, put it on here, get rid of the 250, and I plug the hole. And I'm gonna show you what to do, how to plug the hole. Beautiful little plug right here. I don't know if the focuses or not, but this is your delete. Okay, you just buy that piece. Sometimes they ship it without small little tiny O-ring, but I have a set of O-rings for everything, so I just install my own O-ring, and I'm gonna show you how it's done and how beautiful this thing looks with your main pressure, bottle pressure on this side. I also buy a 300. Where's my 300? There you go. So I buy 300 bar because I have 250s. So I'm gonna. Reason I put 300, because when I fill it up to about 275, 280. Okay, I fill it up to 280. I let this rest. The bottle rests, and because it heats up when it fills up, when it rests, it goes back down to. It brings me back down to about 260, 255. And I'm right at that point when I want it. So if you have a 250 bar gauge and you're filling to 270, your needle goes pretty much always back to zero. I'm always afraid that that's gonna mess that gauge up, so I replace them with a 300 bar. This is how the final product looks. One gauge, front reg deleted. We have a plug. Look at this beauty, okay? Look at this guy, all right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're gonna store the rebuilt regulator as a backup, just in case we need it later. That's what I have for you today. More new videos coming soon, really good stuff on the channel, so new video every Saturday morning. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Thanks.